On today's Eagle Angle, a popular social media app is banned due to concerns of bullying and harassment. What Dina students Neil Arter had to say.
Plus, Eagle Angle joins the OC campus in remembering the horrific acts on September 11th through 20th years ago. School faculty shares their stories coming up.
And as COVID-19 cases continue to rise in the U.S., doctors warn that children are becoming infected at an alarming rate. We have the story here on Eagle Angle.
Hello and welcome to Eagle Angle, a student-produced newscast live from Oklahoma Christian University. I'm Hannah Warner.
I'm Elijah Johnson. This weekend, we look back on the 20th anniversary of the September 11th terrorist attacks at the World Trade Center and the Pentagon. To remember those who lost their lives in these events and to honor those who risked their lives to help, Oklahoma Christian faculty will be sharing their stories throughout the show on how they remember 9/11 to this day. Here's what Bible professor Alden Bass had to say.
9/11 was my first week in college, and I was in school in Connecticut, so just about 45 miles from New York City.
What do you remember about that day?
Well, I remember getting up and I was on my way to class. I think I had a 9 o'clock class that morning, and before I even got into the courtyard outside of the dorms, some other students said there was something going on, and we all piled into the TV room in the college, in the dorm there, and sat and watched the coverage. This was before the second tower fell. And we just sat, and classes were canceled, we found out later, but we were just sort of captivated by what was going on.
Popular social media app Yik Yak has been the face of controversy among the Oklahoma Christian student body. This comes after Dean of Students Neil Arter released an email condemning the platform due to its harmful nature. Our own Spencer Plato has the story.
Making its way back to the campus of Oklahoma Christian and many other universities is the controversial app Yik Yak. The app, known for posting anonymous comments shared to those in a 5-mile radius, is making its return to many users as it has been shut down for 4 years due to its known negativity and misuse by many users. The campus is dealing with the same issues that occurred a few years ago with the platform and has now raised questions for campus administration regarding the misuse of the app on school Wi-Fi.
7 years ago, it was on campus and it died because it was so negative and it actually did some very harmful things to some people. And now it's made its way back again, and hopefully it will quickly go away again. The basic thing is just to be able to say whatever you're thinking and no one knowing who you are. My biggest concerns are probably related to the fact that the comments get too personal. And when you start calling someone out and making statements or judgment of people, and you yourself aren't even identified, then I have a problem with that. And so it's a lot of hurtful things that get very specific and very personal, and then you turn around and have no accountability for it.
In a recent email sent to the student body, Dean of Students Neil Arter states that the use of the media platform does not meet the acceptable use policy for technology at Oklahoma Christian. The app is no longer available for use on campus Wi-Fi due to the inappropriate comments that have been posted. The email also states that those using the app for good and encouragement are urged to continue the spread of positivity on another social media platform.
We determined on campus that it doesn't fit the spirit of Oklahoma Christian at all. And so in that sense, it's pretty easy to determine, is this building others up or is it tearing them down? It's tearing them down. Is it something that helps bring life to this campus? No. And so in that sense, it's pretty easy to understand. It's also, it doesn't really meet with our acceptable use policy on campus for technology, which is a way for us to help just kind of guide all of our thoughts as far as, is it something that's productive for society? We really didn't do this to get any attention drawn to it. It's drawn a little bit of attention from some news sources and things, but that's really not what we were trying to do. We mostly wanted to send a message to the campus, and especially those who were being talked about unfairly on that app, that we understood that it wasn't right and that we were willing to try to do something we could to slow it and to support them.
Arter states that he knows only a small percentage of the campus is involved with the app, but if you know someone who is on the app or has been harmed by the app, administration is willing to help or discuss and work with students regarding the matter. I'm Spencer Plato, reporting for Eagle Angle.
Calling all music fans, the Oklahoma Christian Music Department is holding its 25th annual grand concert. That will be this Sunday at 2 p.m. in Ball Auditorium. The concert will include Oklahoma Christian choirs as well as the chamber orchestra, symphonic band, jazz ensemble, and steel drum ensemble. A live stream of the event will be available at oc.edu/live.
If you have any stories you would like us to report on, please send an email to our producer with the address on the screen. President Joe Biden visiting the Northeast today after historic flooding killed dozens of people. This as recovery efforts continue on Louisiana following Hurricane Ida's destruction. Daryl Forges has the details.
Thank God you're safe.
President Biden touring the destruction Ida left behind in New York and New Jersey. His second trip to an area impacted by Ida since it ravaged the East Coast.
The losses that we witnessed today are profound. Dozens of lost lives, homes destroyed.
The remnants of Hurricane Ida delivered tornadoes, torrential rainfall, and deadly flash flooding last week, killing more than 50 people in the Northeast.
My thoughts are with all those families affected by the storms and all those families who lost someone they loved.
Officials in the region believe the road to recovery will be long and challenging.
I think, sadly, probably months more likely than weeks. And that's the message we've been giving to folks, that this is going to be a long road, but we're going to stand with them at every step of the way.
Louisianans also facing a long road ahead. The situation for many remains dire after Ida made landfall as a Category 4 hurricane, bringing winds that wreaked havoc across the state. Hundreds of thousands are still without power, some dealing with much more.
Some of the hardest things I've had to deal with is looking people in the face who just have lost everything.
Now the president warning that the impacts of recent severe weather nationwide mean climate change requires immediate attention.
I think the country's finally acknowledged the fact that global warming is real and it's moving at an incredible pace. And we've got to do something about it.
I'm Daryl Forges reporting.
Labor Day has come and gone. The days are getting shorter and the weather slowly growing colder. As we head into fall and then winter, there are concerns about what the colder temperatures will mean for the battle against coronavirus. That concern especially acute due to the number of children becoming affected. Reed Binion reports.
This particular variant has attacked the adults at a faster rate. It's attacked our student population at a faster rate.
Educators and health officials alike sounding the alarm over the surge in coronavirus cases among children. More than 250,000 child cases were reported for the week ending September 2nd. That's more than a quarter of the total number of cases reported over that period.
We've got to get the school system masked, in addition to surrounding the children with vaccinated people.
This comes as the nation hits a grim milestone, the U.S. surpassing 40 million total coronavirus infections, with 10% of those cases reported in just the last 4 weeks. And medical experts warn we could be on the verge of an even more intense spike in cases, following heavy travel and large gatherings over the holiday weekend.
We are having to prepare ourselves for having yet again another surge after the Labor Day holiday.
This amid concerns about the ability of hospitals to keep up. According to Department of Health and Human Services data, 8 states had more than 90% of their adult ICU beds occupied as of Sunday. With cases and hospitalizations already on the rise, President Joe Biden is set to address the nation Thursday about the next phase of his pandemic response. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
In the moments after terrorists attacked the World Trade Center and the Pentagon, brave first responders pushed in to help. The aftermath at the Pentagon has been called the forgotten 9/11. Isabel Rosales spoke with the man in charge of local, state, and federal emergency response in the immediate aftermath and in the days following the attack on Washington. The reason he insists terrorists failed.
20 years ago, under crystal clear blue skies, Americans were unaware that 4 planes would be hijacked and would forever change our nation. One of them targeting this iconic building in Washington.
The Pentagon as the headquarters for the United States military, I think, is a symbol of what we project to the world in terms of how we defend our nation.
James Schwartz led the unified emergency response to the attack at the Pentagon. A split second before his training kicked in, he says he took it all in.
There was definitely a moment where taking in the fire and smoke that we're in this now.
Firefighters face life-threatening obstacles to free survivors.
It's a terrorist attack. It's a mass casualty incident. It's a large fire. There's a hazardous materials dimension to this, and there's a technical rescue after the collapse occurs.
Schwartz eventually learned Flight 77 slammed into a less populated area undergoing renovation, far away from leadership, including the Secretary of Defense. The attack at the Pentagon killed 184 people.
All of them, obviously, precious lives. But when you think about the 25,000 people that normally work in that building, if that airplane had struck any other area or that renovation had not been taking place, it's likely that the numbers would have exceeded New York.
But the terrorists failed to break the American spirit. In Congress, Republicans and Democrats sing elbow to elbow. Over the still smoldering section of the Pentagon, soldiers and firefighters drape the American flag.
I get a little lump in my throat because that was, I think, our way of demonstrating that you're not going to defeat the United States of America, that we're still here, that this building that we're standing in front of is not the United States of America. It's all of these people.
On this anniversary of one of America's darkest moments, Schwartz says, remember the light, the lives lost.
Every night at the dinner table, an empty seat. Every holiday or every birthday that loved one is absent.
The heroes.
I don't think there's been a day since that I don't think about them.
And the countless others inspired by these devastating images to answer the call to public and military service. Fortifying that promise, never forget. 20 years later. In Washington, Isabel Rosales.
Here's what psychology professor Dr. Ryan Newell had to say about how he remembers September 11th.
I was actually in this building. Office was just back that way. And I don't know if I was in class when it started, but as word started to trickle out, I remember what several of us did is we pulled in some TVs and turned them on, and were just kind of stunned at what we were watching. So we saw it. It was on TV pretty quickly, at least the replays and so on. So yeah, we were on the second floor DAH. The disbelief, the shock of what had happened. Watching the planes disappear into the building was just, it was almost surreal, is what I remember. Everybody just sitting around kind of in a state of shock as we saw the whole thing unfold before us.
That's all for national news. Stay tuned because after the break, Hannah Warner is at the wall with your Eagle Angle weather report.
Staring contest! You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming. When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk. No matter what you're going through, I just want you to know I'm here. I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life. Talk to your doctor about creating a plan that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
Now I'm, trying to get better, stronger than ever.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Good day, Oklahoma. I'm Hannah Warner here with your Eagle Angle weather report. As you can see, today we're up and high in the temperatures at 88 degrees, sunny, but it feels like 87 degrees. And that downward trend will continue to this evening. Throughout the state, we have our lows in Durant and low near Miami. But at mid-Oklahoma City, we have 82 degrees. And now further on to this evening. Now expect lows of 77 degrees and a low breeze of east wind of 7 miles per hour. And our humidity at 44%. And finally, for the upcoming weekend, the downward trend of temperatures will not be continuing, I'm afraid. Don't expect that fall weather because it'll be sunny and hot and possible dehydration and heat stroke and 14 through 18 mile per hour wind gusts. And finally, now for our 5-day forecast. On Thursday, with highs of 92 degrees and lows of 66, that'll bring up the lowest day in this upcoming week, and which will bring to a height of 100 degrees and a low of 70 degrees on Saturday. And our next low will be 95 degrees and 70 on Monday. So expect a next couple of hot days without clouds in Oklahoma. And thanks for tuning in to your Eagle Angle Weather Report. When we come back, Garrett White is in the entertainment corner to bring you the latest and greatest entertainment news.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life. Talk to your doctor about creating a plan that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
Now I'm, trying to get better, stronger than ever.
Yeah!
Sam, Elmo.
Oh, hey, Julia. You ready to play band with us? I'm going to play my clarinet.
And Elmo's going to play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
Mm-hmm. With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
Why should young people care about the spread of coronavirus? Well, we know that people with underlying medical conditions over the age of 60 are at highest risk, but they've got to get it from somebody.
So we're asking everyone to be selfless for others so that we can protect those who are most susceptible.
Not going to bars, not going to restaurants. It all just means physical separation so that you have a space between you and others.
For more information on how you can social distance, please go to coronavirus.gov.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on, man, let's split a ride home.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your dog walker,
On your left.
your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, pre-diabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother.
Yes.
You, your football buddy, your football buddy. You, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Hello and welcome back to Eagle Angle. I'm Garrett White and you're watching the Entertainment Corner, your source for the latest and greatest entertainment news. Today we will remember Michael K. Williams, who sadly passed away on Monday at the age of 54. The actor starred in many TV shows including Boardwalk Empire, Lovecraft Country, and his famous role of Omar in HBO's The Wire. Many people who loved Mr. Williams spoke out in remembrance of his generosity and passion for the arts, including Ava DuVernay, who stated, "Through your personal interactions, big and small, through your community activism, through your struggles, through your triumphs, through your glorious work, you moved many, you moved me." The FX limited series American Crime Story is back with its third installment, Impeachment. The show will now feature the Clinton scandal as its new subject. It will center on the women involved in the crisis and the change of the media landscape. The new season premiered last night on FX, so you can find the first episode streaming now on Hulu. Marvel's Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings has been exceeding box office expectations over Labor Day weekend. The superhero film collected $94 million in the first 4 days of its release. The events of the action-adventure take place right after Avengers Endgame and stars Simu Liu as Shang-Chi. It is being celebrated for its diversity as it is the first of the franchise to have an Asian-led and predominantly Asian cast. You can find the film now in a theater near you. That's all for today's Entertainment Corner. And now, back to the desk where Elijah Johnson has your Eagle Angle Sports Report. What you got for us, Elijah?
Thanks, Garrett. The Oakland Christian men's soccer team played in their first match of the season Saturday night, taking on the Patriots of Texas Tyler. Both defenses came to play, only allowing 1 goal each in a game where neither team could really get their offenses rolling. The game ended in a draw 1-1. The OC volleyball team wrapped up their Eagle Invitational on Saturday, splitting their 4 matches. The Eagles won 2 matches versus Massachusetts Bentley before falling to Lubbock Christian and St. Mary's. 3 OC players made the All-Festival list, and that's Morgan Dumoth, Alyssa Hamlin, and Eagle Angle's own Spencer Plato. The Lady Eagles golf team competed in the Dallas Baptist Invitational yesterday, finishing 5th. OC started the tournament poorly, but a second-round surge pushed the 16th-ranked Eagles back into contention. Wilma Ringmis had the best round of the day for the Eagles, posting a 2-under-par 70 with 6 birdies. That's all for today's Eagle Angle Sports Report. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Dora knows better than anyone. The best place to explore is the forest.
Boots! She knows this monkey? Of course, she knows this monkey.
Experience nature.
Let's go.
Connect with family.
I love you guys.
And find your own adventure in a forest or park near you.
Let's do this. Come on, Boots.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest or park near you.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
You care for the house, the kids, and our future. My Shiro's Day is never done. So let's save a little more now so we can create the retirement we want. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need. Visit asiaretirement.org/Shiro.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens. Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
That's all for this week's episode of Eagle Angle. Thank you for tuning in, viewers, and tune in next week. Now, welcome to Eagle Angle, where it's your campus,
your news. Good night.
Was it in chat or was it the show closer?
It was in the chat.